Picture this: a massive cargo ship, the length of 4 football fields, slowly pulls into a port somewhere on the West African coast. It's carrying thousands of containers, electronics, food, machinery, billions of dollars worth of goods. But before a single container is unloaded, before any official paperwork is signed, a man walks up the gangway. He's not a port official. He's not an inspector. He's carrying a briefcase. And inside that briefcase, cash. Tens of thousands of dollars in physical bills. The captain signs for it, the man leaves, and only then does the real work begin. This happens every single day in ports in Singapore, Rotterdam, Lagos, Buenos Aires, and hundreds of others. It's one of the most consistent, most overlooked rituals in global shipping, and most people outside the industry have never heard of it. Today, we're going to change that. This is the story of cash to master, why it exists, why it's still here in 2026, and what it tells us about how the world actually works.
The system has an official name, Cash to Master, or CTM. It's a financial transaction where a designated amount of cash is physically delivered to the ship's captain, the master, while the vessel is at port. That money is meant to cover the ship's expenses and the needs of the crew during their stay. It pays for port fees, pilotage charges, fresh food, fuel top-ups, and other necessities. It can also cover crew welfare, medical treatment, shore leave allowances, personal needs. Now, when you hear port fees, that might sound like a small line item, but let's talk about the actual scale of what a ship needs every time it pulls into port. When a large vessel arrives at a port, it needs a pilot, a local expert who physically boards the ship and guides it safely through the harbor. That pilot has to be paid in cash, on the spot, in local currency. Then there's the tugboat crew that helps maneuver the ship to the dock, the port authority fees, the mooring fees, the inspectors, the sanitation services, the fresh water supplier, the food supplier for the crew. All of this can happen within hours, and in many ports around the world, especially smaller or less developed ones, none of these services accept wire transfers. They want cash, they want it now, and they want it in their local currency. That's what the briefcase is for.
This is the question everyone asks first. We live in a world of instant digital payments. Venmo, Swift transfers, crypto. Why is a man still walking onto a ship with physical money? The answer has several layers. Layer 1, time. Many ships now spend less than 24 hours in port, giving crew members almost no time to visit a physical bank or resolve payroll issues. There's simply no time for a wire transfer to process, clear, and become available. International bank transfers, especially across multiple currencies, can take 1 to 3 business days. A ship that arrives Monday morning and leaves Monday evening can't wait for that. Container news. Layer 2, geography. Not every port in the world has reliable banking infrastructure. A ship docking in a remote port in Indonesia, a coastal town in Senegal, or a smaller South American harbor, these places often can't process international wire transfers for basic services. The local fuel supplier doesn't have a bank account that accepts Swift transfers. The local food vendor wants cash in hand. Layer 3, regulation. Compliance with anti-money laundering laws, local currency controls, and security logistics all play a part. And yes, sometimes it really is a person carrying a suitcase of cash directly to the ship. Catalina trans. Some countries have strict restrictions on how much foreign currency can move through their financial systems electronically. A wire transfer from a Dutch shipping company to a local port agent in certain countries can trigger regulatory delays, compliance reviews, or outright rejection. Cash handed over in person sidesteps all of that. Layer 4, emergencies. Here's the part of this story that most people never think about. The cash on board isn't just for port fees and repairs. A significant portion of it is for the people living on the ship. Most mariners receive their income in 2 parts. A portion is paid as a cash advance on board for personal use, while the majority is sent back home to their families via bank transfer. Container news.
Think about who actually works on these ships. A typical large cargo vessel might have a crew of 20 to 30 people. The captain might be Dutch or Norwegian. The chief engineer could be from India or the Philippines. The ordinary seaman might be from Myanmar, Ukraine, or Ghana. As of January 2025, the minimum basic wage for an able seaman is set at $673 per month, with total monthly income averaging around $1,180. Officers earn significantly more. A captain receives approximately $3,980 per month, a chief engineer around $3,600, and a chief officer about $2,570. Marine man.
By now, you're probably thinking, all that cash on a ship, in a port, sometimes in remote or dangerous locations. What could go wrong? A lot, actually. Traditionally, carrying large amounts of cash has posed significant security challenges, particularly along shipping routes prone to piracy. The potential for theft and violence not only puts crew members at risk, but also disrupts maritime operations. The maritime executive. Pirates don't just attack ships for their cargo containers. They know about cash to master. They know there's a safe on board with tens of thousands of dollars in it. A ship making multiple port stops in a high-risk region might be carrying $50,000 or $100,000 in cash at any given time. And it's not just piracy. Consider the logistics of actually getting the cash to the ship in the first place. From answering emails, processing requests, collecting cash from a bank, and physically delivering it to the vessel. Sometimes at anchorage out in the harbor, it's estimated that at least 9 to 24 man-hours are spent on each single CTM transaction.
The maritime industry moves about 90% of everything you own. Your phone, your clothes, your food, your furniture. Almost all of it arrived on a ship at some point. And behind every one of those ships is a financial system that most people never see. A captain standing at the dock, a briefcase full of cash, a handshake. It's not glamorous, it's not high-tech, but it works. And in shipping, if it works, you don't change it. That's the story of cash to master, one of the oldest, most practical, most quietly essential systems in global trade. If you found this interesting, subscribe. We cover the real mechanics of the maritime world, the stuff that actually keeps everything moving. See you in the next one.